My first introduction to this delicious, admittedly not so healthy salad was through one of those shelf-stable ones, and I'm good on those for a lifetime now. There's no point in eating something mediocre if it's easily avoidable. No offense if you like the stuff. I mean, maybe a little bit of offense, but maybe just elevate those taste buds a little bit. Also, if you're one of the people who claims they like Caesar salad but thinks the anchovies are gross, there's no hope for you. Just click out of this video. Get out of here. It's not for you. Caesar salad is one of those salads that is just plain easy to assemble. It's really just lettuce, croutons, dressing, and parmesan. That's it. Though it is even better if you have some extra anchovies to lay across the top or some radicchio to throw in there as well. However, I have neither of those, so I won't be doing either of those, but just go ahead and trust me on that and maybe pick it up at the store if you're making this from scratch. So let's get into it. Actually, hold on. Caesar salad, as you'll find it almost universally these days, is made with lemon juice. Fresh lemon juice. I shouldn't have to state that, right? Like, you don't have one of those weird lemon balls sitting in your fridge, right? That says it's like real and fresh lemon juice, but it like really isn't, right? You don't have that? Okay. Point being, Caesar salad was originally made with lime juice. I've never had it that way. So why don't we make both versions? Alright, first, here's your recipes. Let's start by making croutons by cutting some bread into cubes. Ideally, you want to do that in the morning. That way they have all day to get stale. Personally, I don't plan to make salads, so I always forget to do this. And I've really found that if you just go ahead and chop them up into the cubes, put them on a tray, and put them into your oven at like 200 or 300 degrees, they'll go ahead and dry out pretty quickly anyway. And then after that, you can essentially put them in a bowl, toss them with a few tablespoons of olive oil, some salt, some pepper, garlic powder if you want it, and then go ahead and place that back onto the tray at either 450 degrees or toast if you're doing it in a toaster oven like I am, and then let them toast until they're golden. And that's pretty much it. At that point, you just want to be able to pull them out and set them aside so they can cool off before you put them into the lettuce so they don't wilt anything. Okay, the main event. Caesar salad number 1 with lemon juice. Look, there is one annoying part about making Caesar salads, and that's making the garlic anchovy paste. On a cutting board, go ahead and chop up 2 cloves of garlic, 4 to 5 anchovies, and a pinch of salt. I like to start with the garlic first, get it to a fairly small dice, nearly minced, and then go ahead and add the salt and then the anchovies on top of that and continue chopping. Basically, you'll just keep running it over and over and over again. Once you start to notice that it's forming a loose paste, you'll go ahead and start smearing it against the cutting board over and over again until it becomes a really nice, admittedly unappealing looking paste, at which point you'll throw it in your bowl. It's important at this stage though to not skip the salt and make sure you're using something like a coarse kosher salt. It's partially there to season the dressing, but it's also there to act as an abrasive to help break things down into that paste that we want. Into the bowl, add 2 egg yolks, a tablespoon of Dijon mustard, 3 tablespoons of champagne vinegar, and a few cracks of black pepper. Put a damp towel under the bowl and give everything a quick whisk. The purpose of the towel here is to keep the bowl stable while we whisk in the oil. Drizzling very slowly, whisk in a combined 3 tablespoons of olive oil and a 1/4 cup of neutral oil. Keep whisking the whole time. You don't want your dressing to break. So that being said, make sure you whisk with your stronger arm. For me, that's my right arm. My left arm, so-so. Anyway, once you're done whisking in the oil, whisk some more, this time adding in 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. Next, add around a 1/4 cup of grated parmesan and taste for salt, pepper, and acid. For me, a peppery Caesar salad is preferable, so I add a bunch of pepper here, but you obviously don't have to. If things feel a little too acidic, you can always whisk in a little more olive oil, maybe a teaspoon at a time, to get it to the right level of acid that you prefer. Okay, let's bottle that up and make the lime version, which is going to be a little different, but pretty much mostly the same, and you could also just swap the lemon for lime 1-to-1 on what we just did if you want. But I think changing up the vinegar a little bit is actually kind of nice in this next one. So, go through the exact same process to make your garlic anchovy paste, and then add it to the bowl along with 2 egg yolks, a splash of Worcestershire sauce, and 2 tablespoons of red wine vinegar. Now, you can totally use the same champagne vinegar that we used earlier here. I've done it before, it works just fine. I just think this is a little nicer with the lime juice. Next, we're going to do all olive oil for our oil mixture. So not so much mixture anymore, and you could also do that in the lemon version if you like. And just as before, go ahead and drip in slowly and whisk constantly. Finally, whisk in 2 tablespoons of lime juice and then 4 tablespoons of Parmesan, which fun fact, is a quarter cup. And also fun fact, I didn't measure this here at all. It looked like about that much, so. And of course, a few cranks of black pepper. Now dip your dirty little finger in there and give it a lick and adjust the flavors as needed. Limey, yum. Everything else from here is smooth sailing. You can go ahead and put your dressing in the fridge for about an hour to let it mellow if you want, but you could definitely serve it right away too. So let's do it. Now, because I made the lime version of the Caesar dressing about a week later, because I cannot in fact consume a Caesar salad every single day of the week, even though I would like to, you'll notice that the makeshift croutons for that salad are actually focaccia, which funnily enough I have a video for how to make. And this is a wonderful way to use that focaccia once it starts to go a little stale. All right, let's toss a salad together, stranger. I kind of can't believe I have to tell you how to toss a salad, but you know, here we are, making content. All right. So either for 2 or 1 that likes the big salad, go ahead and add a handful of chopped romaine to the bowl, along with your croutons from earlier, and a few tablespoons of Caesar dressing, and go ahead and toss, adding in some more dressing as you need it to coat it correctly. I mean, this is sort of all completely up to you. I have no control what you're gonna do here. And then go ahead and top it with parmesan. And that's pretty much it. Not sure why I even went over that. So why don't we continue down the vein of doing things we don't need to do, and I'll tell you how to eat it too. Go ahead and put your fork into the bowl, import a piece of lettuce into your mouth, so you can also export a piece that touches your lips right back into the bowl. Go ahead and channel some big George Costanza energy, why don't you? So let's compare the lemon and lime versions. Personally, I don't think there's that big of a difference, other than the fact that the lime version is a little more bitter, has maybe a little more tang to it as well. Nothing wrong with it. It's actually pretty good. I think honestly the biggest takeaway I would have out of this is that if I had everything except for lemons to make Caesar salad with, and I did have limes, I would probably go ahead and just make it with the limes versus feeling like I had to go out to get lemons. So, you know, not that big of a learning, I guess. But you watched the whole thing until now, I suppose. So, is a Caesar salad gonna thin your waistline? No, probably not unless you're switching from an all-burger diet or, you know, you spent the weekend drowning yourself in queso. But that's not really why you eat a Caesar salad, is it, you ding-dong? You eat it because it's delicious. And they're not terrible for you, right? Olive oil's healthy and all that.